work here because I got sick kids and hauling trailers around and all this other stuff. But they're working on this section of tile where it's gonna meet the wood floor and kind of weave together. They've got most of it done and it looks awesome. So let's check it out.
Pretty specific about the kind of nail that I picked there. Like that one right there. Nice little skinny. And,
what's up with that drill move?
Oh, well, it lets me cut a slotted head here. What I'm really scared of is pounding on the wood floor here with a hammer, and the tiles were just set last week.
Oh.
I'm afraid to pop a tile. So I'm trying to make it so I don't have to beat it in as hard as, you know, the rest of the floor.
Dude, you got the wrong guy hitting these nails.
I got it.
That's scaring me. There you go. All right. Okay. No, man, you make me break it.
I don't want to break it.
Jason does have a good trick, actually, about these nails. What we realized is most of them spin a little bit, probably what, 10 degrees?
A lot.
Like a screw. The way that they're sheared off, there's actually a little twist. So we're pre-clocking them about 10 degrees, and then when they set, they end up in line.
And we may have covered that tip already, I can't remember.
Well, if you don't do that, it can be a problem.
It is really scary to see someone swinging a hammer that close to some tile, because tile doesn't take a hammer blow very good. It's just gonna explode. That's worse than nailing in a window.
I don't like it.
Can we go your way a little? Yeah.
No.
All right. I think that's okay. Also, the guys have left a gap here between the wood and the tile, and I can only imagine you're gonna put something in there.
I am. I'm going to put grout caulk
Okay.
there, or maybe some Moreflex made by Sashco, because the wood and the tile would crack if you put regular grout in there. The joint, it would crack, and I don't want that. So, but we need a space. I don't want them to
looks
touch.
right with the space. Yeah, I agree on that.
Just pretend that this is a big tile. Just another tile. Just more tile.
We have to give credit to Ashley for this tile and wood mixing thing. That was her brainchild, I think.
I like it.
You like it?
Reminds me of a honeycomb. Looks good.
Okay.
You like it?
Yes.
I do like it. I didn't know if I would, to be honest.
If what?
Oh, I didn't know if I'd like it, to be honest, but I think it looks good.
I think it's better than like a hard transition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's different.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Jamie loves it. He had a great time.
I just like to make it just a little more difficult every step, you know.
I don't know how I got to a point in my life where I just say yes to this kind of thing. I don't know what has happened to me.
Make it look good.
Can you imagine if someone had told our dad when he was a builder, hey, can you do that? He'd have been like, I quit. He would have just totally quit the whole job.
Wait, you need to bring him out and see what he thinks.
Yeah, he thinks we're crazy for doing
like
something.
I guarantee you what he'll say this. He'll say, I wouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
That's all he'll say.
What's going on with that hairdo?
Oh, you know. Can you see it?
Winter!
Anytime you ever cut your hair, you should always test the trimmer length in like an inconspicuous spot, because I did not.
That looks great, and now you got new hair.
I was like, I'm like, Stephanie!
I wish I could have been
there. And I'm telling you right now, as I sit in front of you, this was not even close to being set up. I was just gonna like kind of trim my hair a little bit, and it looked long, and I just grabbed it and went.
Is it shorter in that one spot?
Oh yeah.
No. Yeah.
It grew. This was like 3 days ago, so I think it grew back a little bit. Yeah. So anyway, so now here we are.
I made the rookie move right then of cutting the board exactly with no gap. And once I test fitted it, I couldn't pull it back out for about 5 minutes. and I got heckled. But you know, if it doesn't matter, like you got baseboard going down, don't cut it that tight. It just wastes time. I'm talking to myself here. After running for just a minute here, it's working great, but these little ball bearing deals right here are leaving these little tracks in the floor. And we're not really sure if that's a terrible thing on a floor like this. It's totally rustic. But in hindsight, maybe some rubber type casters would be better.
Yeah, some rubber wheels maybe.
But it is working fantastic as far as just cutting, you know, the high spots down. It's working like a dream. We got the sander revamped with some wood skids. That's what we had. And new paper, we're gonna try it out again.
Okay. Let's plug it in here. Yeah, yep. Get it plugged up here. Okay, a little twisty. Twisty, misty.
What you guys got going on now?
Not a lot. I'm recording, but it's still recording.
You ready?
Yeah, it's going. Hang on tight.
It is working better now. It's not leaving the tracks, but it's it's a little bit of work.
Why are you breathing so heavy?
It's a little bit of work, but I'm getting the hang of driving it now. It's like, you know, anything, you gotta learn how to use it. So far, this is the best way we've done it, is just to put 4 little pieces around the edges, and that kind of minimizes the surface area. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Why didn't you just rent a floor sander?
Well, I'm no good at driving them. That's the problem. I mean, I could do it, but
So you're saying you could mess the floor up worse than with this potentially?
this thing is virtually impossible to mess up the floor, I think.
Okay.
And the other machines, there's great possibility.
Okay.
See, we're on opposite sides of the spectrum here. This is a safety sander.
Okay.
All right? And once I get it improved and
Now the
patented,
frame does prevent it from like going out of level, basically.
yeah.
Okay.
It can't
I
dig
just
in.
thought I'd ask. 'Cause
Can't dig,
I'm
won't
sure this would be the first comment. You're an idiot. Rent a floor sander next time. I can see it already.
Been there, done that. Thank you.
All right.
I appreciate the tip.
Okay. I just had to ask.
All right.
Sparky!
Oh.
Things going nuts.
Hey, where's that tape at?
Jason and I are just kind of watching and vacuuming because Jaime, he's got his own methods and techniques here. He doesn't really want to give up the helm and have one of us drive this thing, which I don't mind. I like watching. It's super fun, but it looks tiring. And
Yeah, it looks super tiring.
he's just gonna keep going. So I'm gonna keep watching.
Until this quits or the generator burns up or something.
It's going to. Well, Arlo's in here with his best tool sander, kind of touching up and finishing up. So that's pulling a lot of power too. There's Arlo.
It's rough. Rough ride.
It's about 5 o'clock and I've got to go because I got to coach basketball. but the guys are still in there sanding, and that is working us pretty hard. I got a pretty good blister there. I was bleeding everywhere. We need better handles on that machine is what I would say, to lift it up, to let it rev up again when it gets kind of bogged down. Otherwise, it got done what we wanted, and I think they're gonna stay late and finish it. So I will be back in the morning.
We were so close to finishing the floor yesterday with this big sander, but it wore both of us out, me and Eric. Even though we had a very small amount of material to sand, I couldn't stand the thought of just having to work this machine the way that it was yesterday. So I've been in the shop here for about 2 hours modifying the sanding base so that it has wheels on it. And what I'm doing, like I do lots of times, is I just see what I have laying around. So these carts have nice wheels on them, and they seem, well, maybe ideal. And so you can see over here what I got going on. I chopped out a bunch of the metal frame and inserted the wheels. That gave it about this 3/4 inch space underneath. That was kind of the way that this thing was designed originally, and I'm keeping with that theme. Like I had said before, we struggled the other day with having enough power out of my small generator. So today we brought the big generator, which is, I think, 15,000 watts. It's like a 25 horsepower motor, so I thought that would do it, but it is a hassle to drag it here. As a matter of fact, that's why I have the trailer. We get to the job site, and guess what? The power company has already been here, and they hooked up my permanent power. So now we can just flip on a couple breakers and work off of the outlets in the house, which is fantastic. I'm really excited. Also, we can get the heat on. The heat pump and everything is already wired up. Okay, let's see what happens here. Ooh, she big. Yeah. Hit the switches. Quit it. What are you messing with me? You don't have to stand back like that. Like, I don't think fire's gonna shoot out of here.
I know the electricians that did this thing.
All right. Hit me with the laundry. And what was the other one? Fridge. Yep. That's all we need, 2 hot plugs. We made a lot of dust in the house yesterday, and I really hate that because up until now it's been relatively dust-free in there. So bringing in the air filter, it will help cut down on the dust, but it's still gonna be super dusty. Today we're gonna blow the whole house out with leaf blowers, actually, and vacuum everything and run the air filter in an effort to evacuate all the dust that we can out today. I don't really foresee there being any more really dusty projects in the house. Here we are for day 2 with the homemade floor sander. I made 3 improvements that I think are gonna make a big difference today versus yesterday. Number 1, we're using wheels instead of sliding wood tracks on the sander, okay? Because there's a lot of friction, it's breaking my back just pushing the thing around. Number 2, we're gonna use electricity from the power company instead of an underpowered generator. So that's gonna be a big deal. And number 3, there's handles on it to actually hold and move it around because I have almost got blisters on my hands. Eric did get blisters, he was bleeding all over the place. So between those 3 things, I think it's gonna make a huge improvement and I'm looking forward to trying it.
The sanding process is finally done, and it looks like we're gonna do some poly because I just poured it out. Half a gallon.
Well, that's the way you're supposed to do it, right?
I've seen pros do it similarly, where they just put a bunch of it down and mop it around.
Well, thanks to Arlo, I got this special, I don't know what to call this thing. Pad, maybe?
Yeah, it's an application pad.
Applicator. All right, so
that's working fast.
I went a little nutty here pouring it out, but I hope I got enough poly here. Yeah, we gotta,
All right, that's all the commentary we got. We're just gonna do it.
Sorry, what are we talking? This is gonna get this cool. I
So with Arlo, sometimes when he lets you have things, they're like 100 years old. This pad is just like falling apart. So we're gonna try another one that he gave us that might also fall apart. Bring it on, Jay. Okay, it's confirmed.
I found it.
These pads are from 1994, which is almost 30 years ago. So
30,
that's why
28 years ago.
that was happening. We're just gonna give it a go again. To Arlo, something like, you know, how old is Arlo?
Arlo's like
60,
90.
68?
103. Something like that. I don't know.
There you go.
That off.
There
Ah,
you
I
go,
like
do
it
the
up.
tabs, and then just grab it. It waited 30 years for 5 minutes of action. The foam just turned to dust. Look at this.
Yeah, that's
Jake, don't move. I'm gonna get the shot.
Jamie switched out to just a regular roller, and he's laid it on there thick. But he says this is working better. Super thick. It's filling the cracks and everything.
Oh yeah, we're gonna flood that crack one more time. Here it is.
It's probably dripping out the basement.
I guess.
We're done with coat number 1, and it looks kind of orange peely right now because of the way we rolled it on there. But I'm thinking it's thick enough where it's gonna lay flat and look great once it dries. What do you think? I hope so. Or we're gonna be sanding it. Hey, thanks for building with us today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I want to remind everyone, if you got a second, to check down in our video description. There's a link to the Perkins Builder Belt, which is the tool belt we sell and Jamie and I wear. I love it, and you can buy one for yourself at perkinsbuilderbelt.com. It's a great way to support us as well and get an awesome tool belt. Also, Jason on our channel has his own YouTube channel, and you should check that out. I think it's called Building Jay's Way. He's got some great fun content. Check that out. Also, there's a link to TrueWork, which is the gear we wear on site, which we also love. You can get 15% off by using the code that's down in our description. And also, this is exciting. This building, the structure we're building in this video in real life is done, and it's for rent. So if you want to come to Bryson City, there's a link down here. You can check that out and rent it like on Airbnb. And if you really want to get crazy, there's photos of the finished project, but don't stop watching the videos just because you've seen the finished product. The fun part is doing the work. So again, thanks for building with us. Hope everybody has a great day. We'll see you next time.